Hi, welcome back to math. Today we're going to be talking about subtracting using base 10 blocks. Subtracting using base 10 blocks. What I did is I drew out a big block. It looks like this. You've seen this before. We're calling this one whole. And we're calling this what? 1/10. And then we're calling the little cube, the very smallest, 100th. 100th. Okay, so I drew two of these guys. Woo. Great. So I have two of them. I'm going to take one away. How do I show taking one away on the paper? Well, here's how I could do it if you want to watch carefully. Are you ready? I hope you're watching. Well, that's 2 take away 1, huh? And I could say that my answer is 1. Because I have 1 here, right? Right? And that equals 1 here, right? 1 equals 1. Yeah. Okay. Let me put that back. Okay? Did you see what I did? Did I go too fast for you? I might have, so let's watch again. This time I can't do it in slow motion, but if I have two holes and I'm going to take one away, how do I show that on paper? Well, I could erase it, but then no one would know that I ever wrote it on there, right? So all I would end up having is this. And the teacher would go, well, where's the 2? And, right? It doesn't work out well, does it? So, what should we do instead? Well, we're going to do a one-to-one correspondence. That means for each one that we cross off on the right side of the negative sign, we'll cross one of those same items on the left side of the negative sign. Does that make sense? Or, if you'd like to call it, the subtraction sign. So if we cross one off here, I'll do that for you. Ready? Here we go. I'll change the color. Let's make it red. Why not? So I'm going to cross this one off, right? That represents my 1. And I'm going to cross this one off because I'm taking 1 away. It's showing that. So my answer would be this one is there, right? So I have 1 left. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Correct? Do you understand that? All right. Well, if you understand that, then let's move up a little ways, shall we? Now here again we have a problem, and we're going to do our one-to-one correspondence. Okay? One-to-one correspondence. That means we're going to do what? For every one we cross off on the right side of the subtraction sign, we'll cross one of those off over here. Does it matter where we start? No, it doesn't. What if I wanted you to write this out in a standard form or standard algorithm? How could I write this out? Well, how many holes do I have? How many holes? 2. I have 2. So I'm going to put that. I have 2 here, right? Wow. And then what does it mean? Is this 1 hole? No. No. So what do we have to have in between this whole number and these guys here? A decimal, right. So I put a decimal there. And then I have 1, 2, 3. 3/10, so I put that in the tenths category, and I have 4 what? 100ths, right. And then my sign, I'm going to move that up, subtraction, right? And then I have how many holes on this side?
1.
I've got 1. And then what do I put? What's important? Decimal. And then how many of these do I have?
2.
I have 2. 2/10. And what do we call those guys? 100ths. So we have 3 of those, right? And we're going to get an answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. We're going to do the crossing off method, right? We're going to do one-to-one correspondence. Does it matter where I start? Not really. I can start anywhere. So let's choose this guy. I'm going to take this guy. Oh, I should use a different color. Sorry. Let's use pink again. Why not? So I'm going to cross this guy off, and I'm going to cross this guy off. Okay? Then I'm going to cross this guy and this guy. Is that okay? So far, so good?
Yes.
And then I'm going to cross off the next 10th, huh? And that gets rid of that 10th. Okay. Do I have any more 10ths to cross off? No. Now, what do I go to next? The hundredths, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll cross off this 100th, and I'll cross off this 100th, this 100th, and then that one, and this one, and that one. So what's our answer? How many holes do we have?
One.
We have one hole. What do we put next? What do we put next? Decimal point, right? And then we have how many tenths? One. And then how many hundredths? One. Right there, right? And this one right there. So we're left with 1.11. Nice. Let's go and do that same one-to-one correspondence with our next one. Now this one's going to be a little trickier. This one's going to take some, what do we call it? Regrouping, right? Or you could call it borrowing. Okay. Well, let's start by writing out the standard. Let's write out a standard algorithm. What do we have over here? 3. I'm going to change my color. Let's go with purple this time. So we got 3 point. Do we have any tenths over here? No. So we got 3.0, 0 tenths, and how many hundredths? 4. And our subtraction sign, right? What do we have here? 2. And then what? What goes in between the whole number and the tenths? Decimal. Good job. How many tenths? 3. And how many hundredths? 5. Excellent. So we can do this, right?
Yes.
All right. What do we notice in our problem here? Well, we could start crossing things off, right? Does it matter where we start? Not really. I'm going to start with the ones, though. Okay, I'm going to start crossing those guys off. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take this one off. Okay? I'll take the next one down, off, and this one off. Over here, okay? Does everybody see that? All right. Now I need to start taking off some tenths. Uh-oh. What's the problem on this side?
It has no tenths.
I don't have any tenths, so I'm going to have to borrow or regroup, right? Now, how many, when you're talking about this thing up here, right? Oop, I'm so close to that size. That's great. How many of these guys do I have in this?
10.
I do have 10. So I could cross this guy off, and then I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Is that the same thing?
Yes.
Yes. Now can I cross off some of these guys?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So I'm going back to the crossing off, crossing one of these out, one of these out, one of these out, one of these out, one of these. Am I done with my tenths?
Yes.
Yeah. I've crossed them all out. They're gone. And now these guys are gone, right? Let's start crossing off our, what are these called again? Hundredths. Good job. So I'm just going to start up on that far right corner over there. One here. Taking one away. Taking this one away. This one away. This one away. This one away. This one. And that one. Uh-oh. What do I have? I've got one more to cross off, but do I have another one to cross off over here?
No.
What do I do?
You need to borrow.
I have to borrow from the
10.
tenths. So how many of these cubes are in the tenths?
10.
There's 10 of them, aren't there? Nice. So I'm going to cross this guy off, and I'm going to draw out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right?
Yes.
Now I go back to my crossing them off. I have to cross this guy off, right? Crossing them off, and now I get to cross one off here, huh?
Yep.
Yay! So, how many hundredths do I have left?
9.
I have 9 hundredths, so my answer is going to be, how many wholes do I have? How many whole numbers do I have?
0.
I've got 0. I've got no boxes over here at all. So that means 0. Now, how many of these boxes I have left? You said 9, right?
Yep.
Does that go here, or does that go here?
There.
It goes in the hundredth spot, right? And then how many of these tenths do I have?
6.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. So, my answer is 0.69. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And we can put my answer right up here, 0.69. And that would be correct. Now, if you wanted to do that in a, let's say, a vertical, we could put 3.04 minus 2.35. I'm going to push this up so we can see it better. Can we all see that?
Yes.
So, what do we do? Well, we have to start over here on the right. If I held up 4 fingers, can I take 5 away from them?
No.
No. So I have to what?
Borrow.
I have to borrow. But I can't borrow from the 0, can I? Because there's nothing there. So I have to borrow from the 3. And it becomes a
2.
2. Then this becomes a 10, right?
Yep.
Now what do?
Then you have to
I
make it to a 9.
turn it into a 9. And then I turn this one into a 14, right? 14 minus 5?
9.
9. 9 minus 3?
6.
What do we
Bring
need
down
to?
the decimal.
Yes! Bring down the decimal. You guys are doing great. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. And is that the same answer we got here?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can even show it this way. If our teacher wants it 2 or 3 ways, we can show them 2 or 3 ways of doing it, right?
Yep.
Very nice. Well, that wraps up today's lesson on subtracting decimals. I love math.